Welcome to the Random Bites podcast, available on Spreaker.com, iTunes, Google Play, and just added to iHeartRadio. A new podcast every day featuring interviews and a unique take on the world we live in. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Random Bites. Here is your host, Alan Wayne. You know, I was at my desk the other day, and I was, turning on the Pandora for today's alternative. A lot of good alternative music out there. Bands like Judah and the Lion, Portugal the Man. I mean, alternative is experiencing a rebirth, and that's for damn sure. But there was one song that caught my ear, and it was a catchy little earworm called Feels Like Summer. And I wondered, that voice, I says to myself, that voice sounds a mighty familiar. So I take my phone, which, by the way, I'm not allowed to look at work, but in order to satiate my curiosity, I felt the need, I felt the urge, I had to grab my phone to see who was the artist that made this catchy little pop-inspired earworm. And I was shocked when I saw the name Weezer. 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 Weezer, who I grew up with listening to the Sweater Song, the epitome of nerd rock. Buddy Holly. The Blue Album. Pinkerton, which was so bad, it sent Rivers Cuomo back to Harvard. I didn't think it was that bad. It was actually really good. Del SCHORCHO. This is the Weezer that I remember. And then when Rivers leaves Harvard, he comes back with a hard and gritty song. He even does a little in hash pipe. And that's the Green Album. And they are back. And it's Weezer. Hey, great, And then they bounce around a little bit, and then they come back to the shack. Back to the roots. 3-chord rock. Rivers playing the guitar nice and hard. Pat on the drums. It even says in the song, and Pat should play the drums. Take me back to the shack, right? Back to when Weezer was Weezer. And I thought, yes, this is a band that knows their audience, and this is a band that knows what they're doing. But I can't help but feel a little annoyed, if not quite pissed off, that Weezer put out such a little earbud. The thing of it is on the other albums, I could actually hear Pat's drums. I could actually hear the drum kit that Pat was using. Remember that little dance he did during Sweater Song, the video? Then the dogs started running in. It was great. I don't even hear acoustic drums on this one. It's as if Rivers Cuomo basically said, hey, I want to sell out. How about you guys? Yeah, we haven't made enough money yet. We're not making enough money being Weezer, the nerd rock people. We want to make something catchy, and we want to release it during the summer, because the song is all about the summer, and it feels like summer, and it's going to make everybody happy. And it's going to make everybody want to dance to our music. And we're going to sell out, and we're going to love it. Well, bullshit, Rivers Cuomo. Let me tell you something. I've been a fan of Weezer for over 20 years, 23 years to be exact. And I've seen in my time, I've seen bands change. I am not adverse to change. Yes, bands will put out little artsy projects like Metallica put out Lulu and Saint Anger and S&M. They were going through they had fuck you money. They're like, you know what? We're going to spend fuck you money on this. We're going to blow $1 million and record an album with Lou Reed because we feel like it. And it's going to be total shit, but we're going to do it anyway, and you're going to buy it because that's what you do. Because you're our fans. And we're going to do Saint Anger. We're going to do Saint Anger. Well, not in that order, flip-flop, reverse, whatever. We went on this tour, Metallica's thinking, and we toured with guys like Korn and Limp Bizkit. Hey, we're going to try a little bit of that. And, hey, have you ever recorded with a symphony? No? Well, fuck it. Let's get Michael Kamen and record with a fucking symphony. I have no problem with artists just basically spending fuck you money and doing art projects. I have no problem with that. Smashing Pumpkins has been an art project for fucking 20 years now. It's been whatever Billy Corgan shits out of his head is what Smashing Pumpkins is. When Jimmy Chamberlain couldn't keep a needle out of his arm, he hired a drum machine and changed their sound completely. But Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins, fuck you money. Yeah, that's what he has. That's what he does. Talk about fuck you money. He ran a wrestling organization recently. I'd probably do that if I had fuck you money. I'll tell you what, it'd be pretty fun. But my point is, that's doing something that you love that is not going to be mainstream or popular necessarily. I mean, when Nirvana did In Utero, Kurt Cobain admitted, I want to scare people away. But people just got more fucked up so they could enjoy the album. I love that album. Scentless Apprentice, Francis Farmer, great songs. But no. Some artists take another path. Like Jewel. Jewel, the cute girl from Alaska with the crooked teeth and the acoustic guitar and the sweet voice. Who could yodel? Yodel-yo-yo-yo. What does she turn into? She turns into a pop princess, or tries to anyway. What about Lorde? 16 years old. Hits with royals. It's unique. It's funky. It's a slap in the face of pop music. And she was a SoundCloud girl. And what happens? She gets an album or two under her belt, becomes buddies with Taylor Swift. Now she's a pop superstar. Give me a fucking break. And now Weezer. Weezer goes and fucking sells out. Weezer writes probably the most catchy. Now, they've always been catchy, but this is different catchy. This is like crossover success catchy. This is like, we want to go away from what made Weezer Weezer, and we want to become pop stars. Really. I mean, Rivers' voice even goes up like 4 octaves. Well, it feels like summer. Ugh. Okay, point being, when are artists going to, I mean, like some of these artists, like Kesha did it in reverse. Kesha ends up getting diddled by Dr. Luke, and then now we find out, my God, she has a voice. Holy shit, didn't know that. Because she was singing like, talking about got my swagger with Mick Jagger. But she actually has a voice. She did the whole shit in reverse. But Weezer decided to go and do this poppy little earworm that I like, but it's not Weezer. It's not Weezer. It is nowhere close to Weezer. This is a blatant attempt at selling out and crossing over. Now, there's nothing wrong with crossing over if you cross over on your own terms. Johnny Cash crossed over, but he crossed over doing what he loved. And he never, for a second, backed away from his visions. The record company wanted him to do more swing and doo-wop. He said, no, I want to do gospel. That man's not a sellout. Guys out there toiling away like Ministry. Ministry's on a tour. And they can't even fucking pay their bills, but they're touring. and they've never sold out. These bands could easily, with their talent, produce some piece of pop candy and be thought of as great and, rake in the millions of dollars. But it's integrity. Artists gotta have integrity, man. What do you think? Do you think Weezer sold out? Or do you think that they were just doing what they wanted to do? Give that song a listen and tell me Weezer didn't sell out. Tell me Weezer did not sell out to this great pop establishment that has become so prevalent on our nation's airwaves. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, next time you hear Feels Like Summer, do like I do and turn it off, because that's exactly what they want you to hear. That's exactly what, iHeartRadio wants you to hear. That's exactly what the establishment wants you to hear. And Weezer bought into it. So, turn it off. Don't buy their albums. Don't even buy their old shit, man. Boycott Weezer for selling out. For destroying nerd rockers everywhere. And what is Rivers Cuomo doing? Talking about Feels Like Summer in the winter of his life. What the fuck? Seriously, Rivers. Oh, man. I gotta tell you. Music is in bad shape. The only good music nowadays is independent music. And that's where I'm going to plug my little show, Music Underground. Music Underground features artists of all genres who have not sold out. Hell, some of them haven't even sold a fucking record. And yet, they're still doing it for the love. Doing their own music that they enjoy for the love of the game and not selling out like Weezer did. Music Underground show can be found on Spreaker, Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Runs about 3 hours, and you're going to find a lot better music than what you hear on the radio these days. So in conclusion, Weezer, you fucking sold out. I'm disappointed. It sucks. But what are you going to do? Enjoy your millions of dollars. Enjoy your parties with Taylor Swift. Fucking sellouts. Fuck you, Rivers Cuomo. Thank you for listening to the Random Bites podcast. Remember to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play, and remember to look us up on iHeartRadio. Also, become a part of the radio revolution by donating on Patreon, www.patreon.com. Just look for the Random Internet Radio Show. And don't forget, you can hear the Random Internet Radio Show live every Saturday night only on Spreaker.com. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, always be random.